Hi, my lovely friends. Welcome back to another episode of Brave Hearts by Luziana. As humans, we daily face so many difficulties, so many problems in our life. Sometimes we don't have anyone to lean on. So, in most of our time, we decide this life is very hard because of these problems, and we tend to be stressed and sometimes depressed about our problems. The main issue is because we don't have anyone to lean on, to trust and share our thoughts and move on in our life. Because in this 21st century, our society is very difficult to deal with. It is not really your problem because of the stress and the anxiety and the problems you have. It is because the environment and the people that we are facing is very difficult. I just want you to know the reality of life. So sometimes, my dear friends, we don't understand the hidden and the beneath the truth of this life. We usually think that the problems we face and the surface, we only touch the surface of this life. That's why our life is very hard for us. So I had many difficulties in my early days with anger issues and so many problems I had that I don't know how to deal with. So uh, in my healing period, I have learned so many things about this life and how we can live a fulfilling and happy life. So, today I'm going to be discussing the reality of this life and how do we overcome these bitterness and the what you call negative aspects of this life and move into a fulfilled and happy, meaningful life. So, uh, we see only, as I told, we see only the surface of this life. There are hidden depth and meaningful things behind this life. If we learn these aspects, we can direct our life into a happy and meaningful life. As I learned these tactics in my healing period, it was very important for me to share this with you because I just want to everyone to understand these hidden aspects and live their life in a fulfilled and happy life. So let's dive into my understanding of the life and how we overcome our hidden challenges in our life. So, my dear friends, the first thing we should understand before going into the seven steps is that the current personality or the current habits, the character, the personality you have is dependent upon your environment, your family, your relationships, the people you surrounding with, and the informations you feed into your mind. Because as you know, our mind is like a supercomputer. It grabs the data, it processes, and it delivers. So, what we programmed in our early days of our life will become when we are adult. So, as an example, if you're a person who is with good parents, loving, caring, understanding, very empathic, very supportive parents, then your mind is developed in a uh, well, well structured environment that you can future you can deliver this positivity to your as well as to your society. As an example, if you someone is grown in a hard abusive environment, then his or her personality will depend upon that, because what he or she grabs is sometimes the lack, not cruelty, the harmfulness, sometimes scarcity, like those negative things that he or she input into their mind. So the same age people with different environments have different personalities and different view of life. So as you are an adult now, If you have anger issues, if you are very what we call a bitter person, then those characters does not become your true identity. It is because you were programmed to be that person. You are not that person. If you are willing to sacrifice and learn many things in order for you to become someone else that you are currently not, then you can achieve that. You can achieve that life. What I said was that I will take myself as an example. I had many anger issues, as I already explained. So during my healing period, I searched why I was like that. So there were so many painful memories in my childhood that makes me to become an anger person that always reacts to the situations, to the people, uh, and take everything personally just because I had some trauma related to my childhood. So what I want to explain is current identity your current identity may be positive, may be negative. Sometimes it's self-harmful or self-improving. If your personality is above 50% of positivity, then you should improve that positivity. If your personality is not positive, below the 50%, then you should develop your personality. So the hardest part is how do you can say you have to develop your personality, but we know it is very hard for us to move and be a different person. So what I want you to understand is you are an illusion. That means in this moment your personality is what you created from your past. So if you want to become someone else, as an example, there is a human or a person that wants to become an actor, but he or she is doing a daily current personality is doing a normal job, having a normal wage, having a normal life. So there is a gap between these two personalities, the current personality and the personality that we want. So this is the gap that we have that we should overcome in order to become the personality that we want. So let's dive into how you can become that personality. So I have wrote down these steps because I might get forget. And the first one is consciousness. So consciousness have a different and deep meaning in related to psychology. But in order for you to understand, I will say consciousness, and to understand the consciousness simply like this. If you are in bed and if you are still, your mind is always talking. It is called the mind chatter. Do that, do this, you are not smart enough, you are not good enough. So many thoughts. So this mind chatter is very harmful if we are not dealing this with correctly. So consciousness means we are always aware of this mind chatter. What is going in your mind? What is going in my head? Now, what are the thoughts in my head? Also, what are the surroundings I am dealing with who I am dealing with, what am I talking about, what I'm dressing, what I am doing now. Is this habits good for me? So this is the consciousness. You have to be aware of the situation, aware of the mind, and what is going in your mind, and what are you talking. Is this talking healthy? Is this be helpful to someone, or is this be harmful to someone? So this is the first thing everyone must achieve in order for them to change a different personality, because without this consciousness you cannot achieve personality you want. So be conscious and always understand what is going in your surrounding and your mind, and make this consciousness into a positivity aspects, like doing activities, habits, talking positively. And if The mind is always thinking negatively. Do not consider this as the reality, because our mind is always evolved to make us safe. So safeness is the only thing that our mind need. But we need a different thing. We need someone to be successful, wealthy, beautiful, with a good personality, with good characters, with so many friends. So do not go into that mind chatter and think that this is the reality, because reality is very different and you can create that reality. So let's discuss the second one. So the second one is, find what you really want to do in your life, not what others want, but you want. So I take myself as an example. In my early days in my career, I used to follow the position quality manager just because in our university, our seniors told this is the best job, this will pay so much money, and so many things. So in that period, I thought this is my what we call purpose. This is the thing that I should do. So then I followed that path. So during my life, I understood that I don't like this. I hate this. And this is like a suffering. This job is not good for me because I don't like it. But I selected that path because of my seniors. So I just want you to understand, do not ever choose the pathway or the passion or the things that you want just because someone told you, or just because everyone is following that path, and just because you will earn so much money. Follow your path that you believe this is the thing that I want, this is the thing I like. So I found my path as a person who want to change people's life and to help share my knowledge and to do good things for others. So that was my purpose. So finally, I understood and I started to create YouTube channel and videos. So your purpose is very different from your friend, your mother, your father, everyone. So you should identify that and you should love and do what you want, because otherwise uh, you are not happy with the things that you do. If you are not happy, then you cannot be a person that you want to be. If you want to be someone like a businesswoman or athletic, then you should follow this certain pathway in order for you to become someone else that you want and ultimately enjoy in your life. So find something meaningful and what you love, not others want. So with that, we are going to the next one. So the next one is, there are self-harming habits and self-improving habits. There are so many things in our life that we have habits that we usually don't know. We have our habits like waking up, brushing teeth, combing our hair, and everything is habits that we unconsciously doing that we don't know. As an example, if you are brushing your teeth, you don't do it like, I'm going to brush my teeth. Now I have to brush my teeth. We have automatically pathways in our mind that we do this brushing our teeth because we do it so many periods of our life. So likewise, there are habits that is improving ourselves, our life, that is very helpful for our goals to achieve. As an example, if you are an athletic, if you want to achieve a certain kind of body type, then you have to have the habit of doing exercises and doing it continuously without any break. So the other hard part is, we usually do not do these habits for long period of time. If you want to achieve something different, then you should always be what we call continuously doing this, no breaks. Otherwise, we will never follow that. As an example, if someone want to go to gym, usually they will go for 10 days and they didn't see any effects, so they stop. So you will see your effects in long run, but if you do that daily, then you will see the difference. So make your daily habits to self-improving habits, not self-harming habits, in order for your goal to be achieved. So follow that and uh, add new habits as well. Add new habits that is self-improving, also removing the self-harming habits. So then automatically you will have a different personality. You will become someone else that you are currently not. With that, I'm going for the fourth one. So that is environment and boundaries. So I will give this as an example. So if there was uh, twins, twin girls, and in early age of their life they will be separated, and one of the child is went with grandmother and other child went with parents. So the grandmother's environment is very lovely, empathic, kindness, and so much positivity surrounding her environment. She also kind and empathic, supportive, making her to do everything what she liked and supporting her things. So that is the environment of one child. So the other child who went with parents have a different life. Both parents are very busy, and they are sometimes scolding, sometimes hitting the child, sometimes making the child to uh, live alone, and some very what we call aggressive and no supportive nature. Always want that child to be someone that they want. So the conditions of these two people are very different. The person with grandmother have a positive environment, and the person with parents have a negative environment. So do you think the personalities of these both children are same? It is not, because the environment they grew in determines their personality. So the girl who grew up with her grandmother will be more kind, empathic, sharing, and she also wants others to be loved, accepted. Like fine kind of traits will be fine in that girl. So when we consider in the other person, so she will definitely develop into a bitter, angry, self-harming, and abusive, like so much negativity in her personality. So what I mentioning here is the environment determines personality that we build in. So if you want to become an actor, if you are in a rural village without any facilities, access, or people's connections, so it is very difficult for you to achieve your dream. So if you went into the city, then you have auditions, the right kind of people, and they will never consider what you wear or anything that I mean doing makeup. But the situations in the village is very different. If you apply makeup, maybe they will laugh at you. So that is the thing what I'm going to explain in here. So your environment is determined your life and your personality. So if you want to become something and someone that is uh, totally different from your environment, so just think that what you want and what are the things and what are the areas or what are the environments, supportive environments, and also the supportive people that you can find from those environments, and move into that areas to fulfill your life. That does not mean you suddenly change your environment and you don't have any capacity to go to there, and you don't have any financial situation, then that will be foolish. So if you want to go to some area or some environment, then you should have the financial stability first. You must build that, then you can move. So uh, with the environment, the boundaries is very important. Even though there are close relationships we have in our life, sometimes these relationships is very healthy and meaningful, sometimes it's not. Sometimes our boyfriend and sometimes our girlfriend, they will be like not helpful for us, helpful, and they will not see the life that we want. So in that case, we have to have boundaries. If there are toxic people, if there are people who is always talking negative about you, then you should have a boundary. You should sometimes neglect them, or sometimes remove from them, yeah, from your life, sometimes remove the frequency, likewise. So you should always have boundaries with this negative and self-destructive behaviorism people from your life, because uh, the beauty in this life cannot be experienced if we are surrounded with negative, abusive, and toxic people. So you will find new people. That is the nature of life. uh, there are not only the one person that always going to be there with you. There will be so much people you will meet, and give that, you should give that opportunity to yourself. So with that, I'm going to for the fifth one. So identifying your self-worth. So that is very important. So my dear friends, sometimes we don't know what actually our value is. We usually reduce our values to please people, to fit into some environments, to do some jobs, or to earn something, or huge problem. So we reduced our worth for in order to achieve those things. So you should never reduce your worth, because you have so much worth in your life, and your worth does not determine by any other people, any other circumstances. Your skin color, your hair, your teeth, your nails, your self-worth is always there. First, you should determine and understand that you have a self-worth, and that self-worth cannot be destroyed by anyone else. That is very important to improve the personality and improve the life that you want. So the next one is mix the entertainment with your day-to-day activities. So this will be kind personal, because in my healing time, I always pushed myself so hard to do this, to do this. You must wake up, you must do this, you must do that. Why are you sleeping? Like, I pushed myself so hard. So during that period, I had one problem in my mind. What is this? What is going in my mind? I have achieved so many things, but I don't have any happiness or fulfillment. So then I found that even though we are achieving things, we must have something to entertain ourselves, because as we are humans, we must have the pleasure. Pleasure means not the alcohol and like drugs like kind of pleasure. This pleasure should be self-improving pleasures things. So this may be sometimes doing art, drawing things, and music, dancing, sometimes maybe a sport to someone else. So as you are growing from some aspect in your life, there should be another pathway that should fulfill your soul and fulfill your body and improve the dopamine, the happy hormone in your body. So with the activities and with the pleasure, then you will definitely improving and going forward with a happy person. So do not ever underestimate the entertainment activities, and please entertain yourself, and do not make these entertainment activities a self-harming behavior and self-destructing behavior. So with that, I'm going to the final and the last seventh one. Do not fear to stand alone. So the first thing that human mind have always is fear. It is because in our evolutionary, our brain is always evolved to the survival, to survive, eat, reproduce, and grow. But uh, if we want to change our life and to break through this, what we called the normal evolutionary principles of life, we should not be fear, and we should not fear to anyone else, any circumstances, any goal, any achievement, or the laugh of people for doing something that you like. You do not fear for anything because fear will limit your life. Fear will give you a life that you always have, and you will die like the same person. So do not ever surrender to fear. You also do not fear to stand within yourself. As an example, if you want to change your life, but your boyfriend is telling that is not good, you will not achieve that, it's very hard. So you do not fear to go for your dream. Don't fear for your boyfriend's opinions. Just have an immense courage and immense belief in yourself, and do not ever surrender to fear and fade away your dreams. Be with yourself even though there are huge problems and things may be happen to your life, but do not ever be surrender to fear. So my dear friends, with that I'm going to end this video. Before ending the video, I want you to understand that there are so many hidden knowledge that we can apply in order for us to change and in order for us to become someone that we aspire to be. So please join with me. Please join with the Luziano community and Brave Hearts by Luziano, because my mission and what I love to do is to share my knowledge of healing, because I went through a very hard period, but ultimately what I learned was very valuable, and I want this to be shared with every people, and I want you to change your life and join with us, because life is very easy if we learn the principles and the knowledge, hidden knowledge of everything, and push ourselves so hard and achieve our goals. Ultimately, we will enjoy our life, and during the time, we can also enjoy our life. So, may we have the wonderful life and a meaningful life. Please subscribe to my channel and join with Brave Hearts. Thank you for joining with me.